Well, let's get more on this now from James Sorene, who is the CEO of BICOM, the British Israeli Communications and Research Centre. Hello, Chief. Thanks for coming in. So, firstly, the UN's passed this resolution demanding an end to these settlements. Do you think it will have any effect?
Well, I think the reason why Israel sees this as very one-sided is because it focuses just on building homes in the West Bank. It doesn't really require the Palestinian side to do anything specifically. And I think those, like myself, who want to see a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict know that really what we need is for the two sides to sit down and talk. They have in the past got quite close to a deal. And we know that there are options in terms of dealing with the settlement issue if we want to actually get to a deal. Like Israel has talked about which settlements it would evacuate. It did that in the Gaza Strip. It evacuated all the Israeli communities and gave the Gaza Strip over to the Palestinians. So, in summary, I don't think it takes us nearer to what we want, which is the two sides talking about.
Is there a risk, though, it risks descending into a kind of tit for tat? We're not going to do anything unless the other side does it as well.
Well, I think, you know, it's obviously a long-standing conflict. There's a lot of acrimony, and so it is important if the UN's going to pass a resolution, it should have obligations for both sides. So that's why there's some sympathy with the Israelis saying this is a one-sided resolution. There's only really a specific obligation on them, which is to halt settlement building. The other thing as well is that, you know, the US is a very strong ally of Israel, and they felt abandoned because, you know, America knows and has worked very hard on trying to build a peace deal that brings all the issues together. And it's very intricate. There's Jerusalem, there's refugees, there's demilitarization. Settlements is one issue. So to make this the centerpiece and say, right, if we stop building settlements and everything will be okay, it also sets settlement building up as the only problem. And that isn't actually the reality on the ground.
You touched on quite an interesting point there about the actions of the United States. How significant is their abstention in this vote?
Well, it is very significant. I think the last resolution by a US administration about settlements that they allowed to pass was in 1980. So it gives you a sense of how rare this is. I think also there's other issues here. There's history. John Kerry and Obama have not always got on with Prime Minister Netanyahu. Kerry tried to bring the parties together towards a deal, and some Israelis say that he actually scuppered what was actually really good progress in secret back-channel talks between Israelis and Palestinians. And there's no love lost between Kerry and some of the Israeli negotiators who believe that actually they were getting quite close. But Kerry showed that perhaps sometimes, you know, a superpower like the US coming in and trying to take over actually takes us further away from a solution. And that's certainly what some observers feel about this. The other point is that the Palestinians have deliberately launched what they call an internationalization strategy. They want to have a go at Israel at the UN, Israel, because they believe that furthers their objectives. Israel believes, and others, that the best thing to do is for the two parties to sit in a room alone and hammer out a deal. This is a big victory for the Palestinians on that strategy, and it's a very strong rebuke for Israel.
It's quite interesting, the timing that this has happened. It's quite late, of course, into Barack Obama's term as presidency. Do you get the sense that he's feeling, with not much time left as President of the United States, he can do what he feels is right, which is obviously to take a much tougher line on Israel? Well,
there's a lot of people saying today that he had a long time to do something substantive and to do it right, and they tried, and for whatever reason, they didn't do it properly. This is a sort of 11th hour sting in the tail, which feels quite personal. There's also the other point was it looked like the resolution wasn't going to pass, and those that didn't like the resolution were kind of celebrating, and then it passed really, really quickly. There's another issue here as well, here in this country. Theresa May said just recently that she thought that new illegal settlements were wrong. So what's happening there in UK foreign policy? They voted with the resolution. They didn't even abstain. So that's also a very interesting issue for UK-Israel relations, which are very close.
A lot to chew over there. And what do you think is going to be different when Donald Trump takes office? He's already made his disagreement with Barack Obama pretty clear.
Yeah, well, settlements are not an issue in the Republican platform. He has said, and others, that he would like to hammer out a deal, but I think he sees it much more holistically. But like with a lot of things with Donald Trump, we just have no idea what's going to happen.
Have to wait and see in 2017. James Sorene, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
President Obama and